Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. A lot has happened in the last 24 hours. Mikel Arteta has apparently convinced the Cronkies to give him more money to spend this summer. And he says that most signings are going to come in because the squad is still short. We're going to be discussing that. We'll be talking about Victor Gyokerez. We'll be talking about Eberechi Eze, Xavi Simons. A lot of stories going on in the past few days, in the past few hours. And of course, in the week that we have just concluded, we're going to be making sense of Arsenal's transfer window so far, especially with those deals that we think should be done by now, but they have been held up by something very, very small. Well, let's start off with this story coming in from Miguel Delaney. Miguel Delaney is one of the chief reporters and some of the veteran reporters when it comes to transfers and football news. And he says that Arteta has managed to convince Arsenal's owners to increase Arsenal's transfer budget for this summer. And that's what's going on, according to Miguel Delaney. Working, I think, with the Independent, he says that Mikel Arteta has convinced the Cronkies to increase Arsenal's transfer budget for this summer. Now, I want to say this. What Arsenal have done already is purely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. If you're an Arsenal fan out there and you're not happy, it is because we haven't signed a striker yet. And if you're not happy beyond that, you're having relationship issues and you're hoping that Arsenal really solve your relationship issues. But if you're really realistic, Arsenal have done what they ought to do, apart from getting a number 9 and maybe upgrading on that left wing situation. But Mikel Arteta, once again, going to the Cronkies and telling them, you disappointed me in January. I need a statement window. Look at Liverpool. Look at Manchester City. And he's right. He's right. If you're the manager of Arsenal Football Club, you must be terrified right about now. Because the two juggernauts that we're going against, Manchester City and Liverpool, those guys are not messing about in the window. How dare Liverpool spend 95 million euros on Hugo Ekitike after spending 150 million euros on Florian Wirtz, and then they brought in Cossy, and then they brought in Frimpong. These guys have just strengthened in their wide fullback areas. They have strengthened in the attack by like 100%. If you have Mo Salah, because the Liverpool problem from last season and maybe coming into this season was, can they define another attacking identity that ain't Mo Salah? Someone that can score goals reliably, and that person is not Mo Salah. And they've gone and done that remarkably with Hugo Ekitike. He's just, I think, 22, 23. He's a talent. Absolute disgusting talent. And they wanted Isak. They tried to get Isak before getting Hugo Ekitike. And then, of course, the arrival of Florian Wirtz changes everything. So they've been able to define another identity in attack that is not Mo Salah. And that is what Arsenal wanted to do for a very long time. We wanted to define another attacking identity that is not Bukayo Saka. And this summer, I kind of feel like we are trying to do that. We have not yet done that yet, but I think we're trying to do that. You look at Gyokerez, you look at Madueke, you look at Eberechi Eze, you look at Rodrigo, you look at all these players that we are linked with, and Arsenal are not just linked with them. We are trying to work on the deals. We're trying to win the deals. Now, Mikel Arteta going into this window, he was quite disappointed, I should say, with Arsenal's transfer business in January. And he said, we have to look at other situations. We have to look at things in a different way. But we would have loved to have players in January, and it didn't happen. And the Cronkies were well aware that they had one of the worst windows in the last 5 years. That was in the summer of 2024. They had to get it right this summer. And they've done well. But Mikel Arteta, again, telling them it's changed. And I agree with Mikel. It has changed. The Liverpool that we are competing with now is a reinforced Liverpool. It's not the Liverpool of last summer. The Liverpool of last season had a new manager, and maybe these guys were energized. But this time, they might even want to go and do it just because they have added quality. I mean, if Liverpool won the title the way they were last campaign with some kind of a burnt-out squad, what about this season when they've got new legs, new talent, new identities? It's going to be even more difficult. And we shouldn't sleep on Man City, definitely. You can't sleep on Man City if you are a real football fan who understands football. You can't sleep on Manchester City. So I'm going to say, Arteta, I'm with you here. They need to give you more money. They need to give you more money. No question about that. Well, then, apart from that, what has also happened is Chelsea have approached Eberechi Eze's agents, but he wants a big salary, which surprised Chelsea. Chelsea learned that his release clause must be paid in one single payment. One single installment. It is not going to be paid in installments, one single payment. And it says that interest remains from Chelsea in Eberechi Eze, but any move by Chelsea to sign Eze seems very, very unlikely. You might as well say that the move is dead. Because if you're saying it's unlikely, then the move is dead, right? But obviously, we know that Arsenal are big admirers of Eberechi Eze. And is the salary going to be a problem? It could. Because one thing we know is that the salaries of Nico Williams, the salaries of players like, if you want an exaggerated salary coming into this Arsenal squad, it's not happening. It is not happening. 100% is not happening. But I don't think Eberechi Eze would let his salary get in between his dream of playing for Arsenal and actualizing it. So I don't think the salary is going to be a problem when Arsenal go in. Maybe he wants a big salary because he does want to play for Chelsea anyway. So if I don't want to play for you, I might as well come to sign for you for the money. It's as simple as that. That's what's going on. But I think Eze's priority is to join Arsenal. He's already agreed a deal to join us, and he's calm. Now, I don't know whether Arsenal are really going to do this deal fast enough. I don't know if Arsenal are really going to have enough money to go and complete the deal. But at least at the moment, Eze and Chelsea are incompatible. And for me, I just think that even if we don't get Rodrigo, I know Rodrigo is a good player, but even if Arsenal don't get Rodrigo and we just get Eze, don't allow Chelsea to take Eze. Like, they've got Cole Palmer. If you allow them to add Eze to that damn team, a team that already has Liam Delap, João Pedro, a team that has Pedro Neto. Jesus Christ. They've got to be stopped. Don't allow this to happen. So Chelsea interested in Eberechi Eze. Obviously, we know that Arsenal very, very big admirers, but Chelsea have hit some kind of stumbling blocks in terms of that deal. Now, we've been talking about Chelsea. This one also came out yesterday that reluctant Nico, very, very reliable source, by the way, very, very reliable. He came out and said that Bayern Munich are also very prepared to enter the Eberechi Eze deal. And that's where I was like, no, God, no. Bayern can use the Michael Olise button. They can tell him, listen, you come to us, you play with Michael Olise. There is a reunion with Michael Olise. And of course, Bayern is a juggernaut of a team. I'm not saying they're more attractive than Arsenal. They've been rejected than more rejected than a Pony star who's trying to settle down. So Arsenal are definitely more attractive, right? But what I'm trying to say when it comes to Bayern right now is they can guarantee him UCL, they can guarantee him major trophies, and they can also take on his big salary. And they are desperate. So let's say Bayern have 90 million euros for the signing of Luis Diaz. And the deal doesn't happen, and Liverpool say, fuck off, we're not selling. What happens? What happens is clubs know that Bayern have money, but in actual sense, Bayern really have money. So they can afford to pay that one-time installment, that one-time release clause activation for Eberechi Eze. And if that happens, they have already done the money part. Personal terms might not be that difficult if Arsenal are still, dilly-dallying around. So I'm scared of Bayern. I wouldn't say that Bayern are really focusing on him. I would think that when I look at the players Bayern have been interested in, they're more interested in a more out and out number 11 left winger, or someone who could also invert, but you must have those pure qualities of a winger. And I don't think that is Eze. So they might take him, but with Musiala there, of course, they have missed out on Florian Wirtz. Could Eze maybe give them that, Wirtz kind of satisfaction? I don't know. But it's being reported that Bayern would love to try the Eze deal. Now, okay. This was coming in from Portugal yesterday as well, and they're saying that negotiations between Sporting and Arsenal continue without progress. And as a result, pessimism has taken over in recent hours among those involved in talks. Meister Football understand that a lack of confidence in the deal led Swedish player's father to burst into tears from Friday to Saturday. This is crazy, isn't it? He is emotionally distraught and even no longer believes the transfer will be successful. This is comedy, right? This is really, really comedy. This is really comedy. This is absolute comedy. I know this kind of stuff, right? But, okay, what they're saying here is that there have been talks without progress. Now, in my understanding, that is not what's going on. These two clubs have been debating 10 million euro add-ons. They reached a time when where they were like, okay, we have agreed 5 of that, but then we have to discuss the 5 that are remaining. And we are hearing that Arsenal and Sporting are now on the final 2.5 million euro add-ons. I don't know the legality of that. I don't know not legality, but I don't know the the extent of truth to that. But what I can say is the delicacy that is being reported in the media is draining. Absolutely draining. Because if you think about like the father's been crying from Friday to Saturday, like crying. Come on. But it's a story that was reported. I wanted to share with you as well. I really don't know if this deal is going to collapse, but I doubt it collapses. I don't think it collapses. Come on, it won't collapse. Now, this was from Ghana Blog, and it was saying that as expected, Noni Madueke is not in Arsenal's touring party for Singapore and Hong Kong. Deals for Christian Mosquera and Victor Gyokerez still not complete yet. Signing skipper Christian Nogard and Martin Zubimendi are a part of the team that traveled. So if you've been keeping tabs, Arsenal are in Asia. We flew out, and we should be able to see games because we have had a Mikel Arteta press conference, so we should be able to see games starting tomorrow but one, which is Wednesday. Now, this is Tom Canton, and he was saying that Arsenal had hoped to have their new striker currently, Gyökeres, on their flight to Asia. Mikel Arteta was very keen to have his new player on the plane. Talks continue at a very advanced stage, and the player is able to join up late. Same for Mosquera once all is completed. So there is hope that these two, Mosquera and Gyökeres, will actually join up with the team later on. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, you want your number 9 to be part of preseason. You want your number 9 to play at least 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5 games that you're gonna play in preseason. Allows you to prepare, allows you to just plan for the future. But if there is a chance that he joins us in preseason, well, that is okay. What else have we looked at in the last few days, in the last few hours that we could have missed? Arsenal played a game with Watford behind closed doors at the Sobha Realty Ground, and we won 3-0. We are told that Christian Nogard scored a bicycle kick. Preseason is preseason, but something to be excited about. I'm just excited that Arsenal are back. I'm just excited. I'm going to see Arsenal. I'm gonna watch 5 games. I can't believe. I'm gonna watch 5 games of Arsenal before we get into the real action, the test action against Manchester United. Should be fun. Should be very, very interesting. All right. Should be very interesting. Okay, now, apart from that, there's something about Fabio Vieira this week as well, and we're saying that Vieira is interested in reuniting with Carlos Cuesta at Parma. Arsenal want 20 million euros, but there is a possibility of finding a middle ground for an agreement. Some patience is needed, with Parma happy to take their time on a move. So we were told that Arsenal are working on sales this week, and it's also happening. This was about. We also had a story on the replacement of Victor Gyokerez, who is Luis Suarez, and Almeria were actually basically saying that if Arsenal don't give us the money we want, if Lisbon don't give us the money we want, we are gonna sell, and we hoped that could actually kind of transform the speed with which we were working on the deal. That didn't happen. And then, of course, there was this Xavi Simons deal. Madueke signed. Arsenal interested in Xavi Simons, and a lot of stuff happened. But of course, we covered that on the channel. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely going to be giving you more. Let's do the new information in the next video.